And right now, as we come on the air with you tonight, Columbus firefighters continue to battle a devastating fire at the historic Kelton House Museum in downtown Columbus.
Well, crews have been on the scene for more than 3 hours now. And what we know right now is that they are fighting this as a defensive fire. This is video taken just an hour ago from 10 TV Drone 10. All right, thank you for joining us tonight at 6. I'm Yolanda Harris.
And I'm Jeff Hogan. Columbus Fire tells us this started as a gas leak this afternoon. And then there was an explosion in the back of the Kelton House leading to the fire. We do know no one is injured.
And that is good news. Now, the Kelton House is in downtown Columbus on East Town Street, right by Topiary Park and I-71.
10 TV crews have been on that scene all afternoon. Our team coverage continues tonight.
We're going to start with 10 TV's Libby Cathy. And Libby, what's happening out there right now?
Yolanda, Jeff, behind me, the Junior League of Columbus is getting some of the artifacts from the Kelton House that Columbus Fire was able to save. If you can see behind me, this includes portraits of the Kelton family, dresses from hundreds of years ago. As we've discussed, the Kelton House was formative in the Underground Railroad. It was a stop along the way, the Keltons hiding slaves. And now it is a place where the Junior League holds several events and fundraisers. There are weddings there. Also elementary school trips coming here to learn about slavery and the Underground Railroad. You can see now these are portraits. These are artifacts that firefighters were able to save. But a lot of damage has been done to the Kelton House, as we've shown you earlier with that drone footage. And we've spoken to firefighters and neighbors who have just tried to kind of see what happened behind the main building. That explosion really did damage to the carriage house, to the back of the main building, and really extending to the front because that explosion was so strong. Now, firefighters are no longer inside of the Kelton House because we're told there is a real risk of it collapsing at this hour. They are trying to, obviously not let it get to that point, but for their safety, they are now responding to this fire from the outside of the building. I also spoke with neighbors who described hearing that explosion and feeling that explosion. Take a listen to what they had to say.
You can see the front part with the bricks on the front half of the building, but the back half, that was like Junior League would meet there, and that was kind of where the kitchen was. The back half of the building, it looked like was just gone.
And the Junior League expects to be here for several more hours as they take some of these artifacts that firefighters have saved. We'll be on the scene and we'll have the latest to you. Libby Cathy, 10 TV News.
Libby, thanks for that reporting. It shows some of the heartbreak coming out, holding in their hands some of those artifacts, right?
So much history.
10 TV's Carly Dion is also out there. She spoke to the assistant fire chief, been getting a lot of information from the assistant fire chief. She joins us now live. Carly, what are you learning latest?
Well, Jeff and Yolanda, as of right now, there's no longer smoke coming from this building. Within the last half hour, fire crews actually stopped attacking this fire from above. But if I step out of the way here, you can see there's a significant amount of water coming from a doorway on the second floor. You can even see the water has soaked through the bricks on the side of the building. Now, Columbus Fire Department Assistant Chief Mike Sechrist tells me fire crews responded to this gas leak here at the Kelton House around 2:30 this afternoon. There was detection of natural gas, and as crews investigated, there was an explosion mostly in the back of the building. And they've searched all buildings nearby for additional gas leaks and have evacuated some buildings. And as you just heard Libby Cathy mentioning here today, Sechrist and neighbors here are all saying this is just a sad day for Columbus.
I think we're all a little sad, and any building is damaged like this or there's a fire, but for it to be a historical building that's important to the Columbus, not just Columbus neighborhood, but the city of Columbus itself, it's always sad to see, but we're always hopeful that the community will rally around it and it'll be rebuilt.
And Sechrist says they've also brought in drones to monitor for any hotspots as they continue monitoring this situation closely. But as Libby also mentioned, there is concern about the building collapsing. But Jeff and Stacia will be out here monitoring this as it continues.
All right, thank you very much, Carly. And you know, you heard the neighbors at the scene there talking about just how much of a loss this is for the community, as well as the history of Columbus.
Deep, deep history. It was built in 1852. The Kelton family first settled in the late 1800s there. In 1864, the Keltons housed 2 freedom seekers who had escaped from a plantation in Virginia and found shelter at the Kelton home, part of the Underground Railroad. These were enslaved people who were trying to flee the South and get to the North safely. When President Abraham Lincoln was assassinated, Mr. Kelton was a pallbearer during the procession through Columbus. In that photo on the website there, it says the ribbon in the bottom left there was worn at the funeral by Mr. Kelton. And you can see at the Kelton House in the museum, which is now home to the Underground Railroad Museum, which is open to the public for tours and events Sundays to Thursdays. So nobody was in there today tour-wise.
Thank goodness,
Yeah,
no public
kidding.
tours today.
No kidding. So 10 TV is reaching out to the Junior League and other organizations who are committed to uplifting the message of the Kelton House to learn more about the reaction to this loss for that community.